course that we're currently pioneering at William Steadon University Cultural Studies Department on the Light International Summer Buffet will be a one-semester examination of their influence and the way in which they are pulling apart the essentially fascistic rhetoric, the Taliban process of enforcing high culture by the so-called cultural gatekeepers that are really about what this sort of pathetic gangland, middle-brow, age-reading, latte-lapping macchiato sort of bullshit is all about.
It would have been about 94 when my life fell apart, and I was living the life of a rock star. I was smoking tea leaves and generally getting myself into a lot of trouble. That's when I decided I'd take a trip to my spiritual homeland. I found my inner peace in Glasgow, which I think is the most beautiful city. The way the grey of the sky melts into the grey of the buildings and the grey of the ground, sort of like life is your own black and white picture. It was also in Glasgow I met my spiritual mentor, Dougal McFerguson, pictured here. This is me sharing a drink with Dougal, and to his left is his sidekick and henchman, if you like, Mad Dog MacDonald. Dougal taught me the most important thing in life is to just shut up and drink, as he used to continually tell me. I find that Glasgow is not just my spiritual home, but the spiritual home of all Australian music. A lot of people give me a queer look when I say that, but if you think about it, you know, from the Easy Bates to Angus and Malcolm Young in AC/DC to Colin Hay, Men at Work, and you only need to listen to Jimmy Barnes to know that Australian music resides, the heart and soul of Australian music is found in Glasgow.
Foucault argued that what it was all about was a jouissance that would overturn the disciplinary order of the panopticon that had structurated us as modern subjects. But he was a bald homosexual who lived in brothels in San Francisco, so you really want to take what he said, you know, both ways.
Where did it start? Well, first record I ever owned was Up There Kazali by the Two-Man Band, which is ironic and a bit of a paradox because as far as I can remember there was just one of them, just Mike Brady. But that was just music, you know, it wasn't life. I remember as a kid I used to sort of crimp my hair and wear ribbons, waistcoats. I can't remember what came first, Dare, Dream into Action or Parade, but I remember, you know, putting on makeup and trying to sound like Simon Le Bon. I was a dumb kid. Wild boys never losing. I think the real turning point was when I got the album Dream into Action by Howard Jones. I used to spend hours just looking at the album cover. On the back of the cover there's like rock star Howard kicking over a chair, and there's good Howard watching him. It's like two sides, like a coin or something. It was like yin and yang, but before New Age got really big. Howard was really onto something then, really pushing the boundaries. But then Warren Cucciarillo joined Duran Duran and the dream just sort of ended. Mel died, or Kim, one of them, and it turned out Boy George was gay after all. Who'd have guessed it? And then, the final indignity, the last nail in the coffin. Dream of the Blue Turtles. For Christ's sake, Sting, grow up and do a car commercial. Oh,
excuse me, mate. You can't film in here.
You know, I've been a professor of cultural studies for about 7 years, and I know more about Kajagoogoo's contribution to global culture than pretty much anyone else. So Light International Summer Buffet pretty much justifies my life. It's a tragedy, really.
I come down to St Kilda whenever the band pressures get too much for me. John and Sian are scared of St Kilda, so I know I'll have time to be alone with my friend. The day Michael died, I died too, you know. There was something about him, not just his charisma and sex appeal either. It was more. I've got enormous respect for what he did for Australian music. He helped put it on the world stage. Well, he wasn't the first one, that was Men at Work, but you know, he helped keep it there. If it wasn't for Michael and INXS, there'd be no Craig McLachlan and Check 1-2, no Nicky Webster, no Indecent Obsession, and no Bardot. Michael has inspired me. No, that's not the right word. He's guided me on a really personal level. When I perform, Michael is never far from my thoughts. The guys don't really understand. I mean, they love Michael too, but it's not the same. Michael's death really, really devastated me. That's why I pushed to do the INXS song. Sian wanted to get all clever and do the Loved One as a tribute to Michael and to Jerry as well, but I wanted something pure. John suggested Barbados. I didn't have the heart to tell him that that's a model song, so I just pushed hard to do Never Tear Us Apart, and I think we really bring something to the song. We treat it with real respect, you know, in memory of Michael. Rest in peace, mate.
You know, ultimately, if you've got a bunch of overeducated, underemployed smartasses like Light International Summer Buffet pissing around with the ephemeral products of everyday American imperialism, all you can really say is bring on the next war.